Hey everybody, welcome to June's sampler block. What we're going to do today is we're going to make quarter square triangles, but to do that we make half square triangles. So you have your A, B, and C fabrics, and in this case the C happens to be this teal color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the back side of the two squares. So I'm going to do that first. Okay, so here's one line. Do the other one. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. So what I do is I have a light and a dark fabric. I'm going to put these right sides together and make sure everything matches and lines up right because they're just squares. And I'm going to pin it in place. So I'm going to use 4 pins because it's such a big square. Okay, so right sides together, pinned in place. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these two fabrics. Right sides together, line them up really well. One more pin. All right, let me get the iron on. So, like we're making half square triangles, I'm going to sew on both sides of this marked line. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Okay, just going to cut these apart. All right, so I'm going to sew the other side of the half square triangle. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. Okay, so we have the half square triangles made. I'm going to take out the pins. And do it on both. All right, so just like a half square triangle, I'm now going to cut right on that marked line. There we go. There's 2. Let me do these. so now I'm going to press these, and I'm going to be consistent that I press them to fabric C, which this one is teal, and the other one will be the yellow. I just want to always make sure it'll work a lot better if you just are consistent about pressing it to fabric C. Okay, here's one. Okay, two more. Okay, so these are pressed, and I'm just going to cut off those little bits on the ends because they just add a lot of bulk. Cut those off. Okay, so I have some that are the dark and the fabric C, and then I also have some light ones. So I'm going to take the two light ones, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the back side of the light ones. And I want to go the opposite direction than the seam. So here's my marked line, and I only need to do the light ones. I don't have to do the other ones. Okay. Okay, so here's one that's all marked. And I'm going to take one that's the dark one, and I want my fabric C colors. In this case, it's this teal color. I want them to be on opposite sides. So here it's on the top, and here it's on the bottom. And I'm going to put the marked side on top, and I'm just basically putting these two half square triangles on top of each other. So they're nice and even. And again, I'm going to use a bunch of pins to hold it in place because I don't want anything to shift around. Let me do the same thing with this one. And since I press the seams towards that teal color, my seams are in opposite directions, so it's gonna my seams will nest really nicely. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm making half square triangles, but will end up being quarter square triangles. So I'm going to sew on both sides of the marked line. Take this one. going to cut these apart, and I'm going to sew on the other side. This is like the easiest thing ever, right? Okay, let me cut these apart. And then just like a half square triangle, I'm going to cut on that marked line. All right, so when we open it up, we have quarter square triangles. And I'm going to press it. You can really press it anyway, but I'm going to press it towards the darker side because one side is a little bit darker. Just be careful ironing you don't distort it because you got a lot of bias going on. Right. All right, so I'm going to take scissors and I'm going to cut off these little bits that stick out from the half square triangle. All right, so let me move this. A little bit. Okay, so the way I designed it, I have the white in the center doing the pinwheel, but if you like it with the black spinning around, I can show you that too. It gives it a different look. It looks a lot different, and it looked really different with the yellow and black. So I'm going to put it back the way I had it. All right, so I'm going to sew these two together. and these two. All right, so when I press it, I'm just gonna, instead of pressing it towards the light, I'm gonna press it towards this, this tealy blue. And I'm gonna be consistent with that. I'm gonna iron both of them to that marine blue or whatever it is. Right, so I'm going to sew the two halves together, make sure I pin it right here. Okay, so I have it pinned just in the center, but if you need it pinned on the ends too, you can do that. When I'm sewing it, I always make sure the ends meet, so one side doesn't end up being longer than the other. Just getting my ends to meet. All right, and then when I go to press the middle seam, it really doesn't matter which way I go, so I'm just going to pick a side. All right, thanks for